Good afternoon, everyone. How are you doing? Great. Growing up in Georgia as a Baptist, I will tell you that I will not hold you as long as my minister would hold me on a Sunday when I'm trying to get home to watch football. So I am going to tell you that I'm going to get straight to the point, which my mother would say, that's great. So I'm going to talk to you about 7 different things. About Jack's USA will be the first thing. I'm going to talk to you about regionalism. I'm going to talk to you about our 5-year strategic plan known as Elevate Northeast Florida. I'm going to talk to you about the targeted industries that we attempt to recruit and work well with in the actual region. I'm going to talk to you about population growth. You know, who's here in our region, what's their age group. Talk to you about talent management and education. And I'm going to talk to you things that are going to be very dear for you. And I'm going to apologize now if I step on toes. It will be about the state of Clay County and the future. And this will come from basically 25 years of experience working, whether it's in Miami, whether it's also in North Carolina, whether it's actually in Detroit. So I hope that there's some things that you can take away today that will help you as you deliberate in your endeavors to talk about economic development for the actual Clay County itself. So before you see the 7-county region that we address, Nassau, Duval, St. John's, Flagler, Putnam, Clay, and Baker. Those are all the counties that we address. So Jack's USA Partnership is the regional economic development organization serving these 7 counties that make up Northeast Florida. Much like Clay, Florida Economic Development Council does for Clay County, Jack's USA improves the quality of life and creates opportunities for residents through job creation, private investment generation in our region. Since 1990, Jack's USA has helped to create more than 100,000 jobs. And by doing so, we've been able to bring in $6 billion in capital investment to the region. We do all of this with a $3.3 million budget comprised of several funding sources that share our vision for regional economic prosperity. 70% of our funding comes from over 130 private sector companies, and the other 30% comes from organizations such as Clay EDC. Jack's USA has a nimble organizational structure made up of 15 professional staff. One of our staff members is a Clay County resident, Ms. Kathy Chambers, who's here in front of us, and it's a pleasure to work with Kathy. And the staff works on strategic and targeted business recruitment, expansion efforts, marketing and business intelligence, talent development, community development, and foreign direct investments to elevate our region's potential awareness as well as opportunity. As you can imagine, our region is competing against destinations from around the world for business, talent recruitment, so investing in our global image and visibility efforts to cut through the noise is of utmost importance to us. Clay Florida's EDC agreement with Jack's USA helps to fund the region's $600,000 marketing and public relations program to ensure our story is told not only domestically, but as well as internationally. So through our partnerships, our regional partners also receive access to paid research and business intelligence platforms and more than 75 years of combined experience of the staff of Jack's USA itself. Jack's USA has a dynamic board of directors, which we refer to as our Policy Council. The Policy Council is comprised of representatives from a cross-section of our target industries, as well as members from universities, nonprofits, and other organizations that add to our region's quality of life. These stakeholders are reflective of the community at large and are completely aligned in our regional economic development mission and vision to ensure economic prosperity that makes sense with our unique regional assets and strong workforce. Ensuring this diversification of our board helps us stay competitive over other regions and cities across the country, particularly those in the state of Florida. Let's talk about our competition. Our region is always in competition for both business and talent attraction, and some of our biggest competitors are regions such as Charlotte, North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, Nashville, Tennessee, Orlando, and Tampa, Florida. And the reason being is the following. Some of them have similar tax structures. They have very similar incentive programs that we have. They go after the same target industries. We attract a lot of from the same talent pools. And for most part, some of us have similar weather climates. So basically, what sets us apart from our actual competition? The only way we can achieve success is by working together. And so working together, it is that strong partnership in terms of regionalism. You will see us being partners with Clay County, Florida EDC, Enterprise Florida. This is what sets us apart. Something that regional partners of Jax USA know and do very well, and that's collaboration. And that's what makes us unique against our competitors. I can tell you from prime examples, I'm going to veer away for 1 second. I've had the unique opportunity in my career to work in different areas of this country. South Florida, I worked for Miami-Dade County, and I worked for the Beacon Council, which is equivalent to us at Jax USA Partnership. But also, we were always in competition, whether it was the city of Miami, whether it was the city of Hialeah, city of Aventura, Doral, Homestead, Florida City, you name it, it was always competition. And that's just within that county. And we were competing with Broward County and all their municipalities. And we were competing with West Palm Beach and Palm Beach County. Always trying to recruit the same exact type of companies. So from a regionalism standpoint, when you're working together, you don't have that type of competition. When I worked in Detroit, the city of Detroit competed with Wayne County, which is where Detroit was located, but we also competed with Oakland County and Macomb County and all of the other particular counties equal as well. So all this cannibalization got us actually nowhere. So the beauty of working with Jax USA Partnership is that we put the competition to the side and we focus on trying to make sure we get the companies to the actual region and showcase all 7 counties and allow the company to make a decision about where they want to go within that region. Because if you can't get them to your region and get them to really respect you and understand you, then they will not make a decision about coming here. So that's what we do at Jax USA Partnership, and that's why we're very unique in that standpoint. So when we work with site consultants and business decision makers and state organizations such as Enterprise Florida, we rely on our expertise and relationships that we have established with our regional partners, like Clay Florida EDC, to create proposals that meet the needs not only of the project, but also positions us to land the actual project within the region. So by being united as a region, it helps us overcome these challenges that may exist in the current climate of economic development. It also allows us to be that much more transparent. I'm going to apologize right now to elected officials. I respect everyone in that field, but I would have to say the following in terms of economic development. Anytime there's been uncertainty at the state level around Enterprise Florida, that hurts. That hurts in the standpoint of the following. We at Jax USA Partnership rely upon our relationship with site consultants. And a lot of the site consultants don't necessarily always live in the state of Florida. So if economic development is under attack, and if people are talking about economic development being corporate welfare, then people will make a decision in the site selection world that Florida is not open for business. And so therefore, you may be sitting on 400, 500, 1,000 acres, et cetera, within your particular region, your particular county. But if site selectors feel as though they're not going to gain any traction in having a conversation because of the environment there, they make a decision to go to our competitor states, such as Georgia, such as South Carolina, such as North Carolina. And if you saw me on that map, North Carolina is a complete competitor for us. So changing the tenor and tone of that message will do us great service for us as we continue to do this particular work of economic development. So what we try to do at Jax USA is maintain those relationships with site consultants, as well as people in the commercial brokerage field as well, and letting them know, number one, Northeast Florida is open for business. The entire region is open for business. What's your project? Come and talk to us about it, and let us help you find the right home for your project within this 7-county region itself. Those are the things that we continue to do. So strong relationships with these site consultants and our regional approach to economic development is keeping our region at the forefront of business recruitment in these uncertain times. Elevate Northeast Florida. So to keep the momentum, Clay County EDC, government and community partners and residents were involved in developing our 5-year strategic plan known as Elevate Northeast Florida, of which the recommendations were launched September of 2018. After 9 months of research, community surveys, focus groups, regional visits, and steering committee workshops, Elevate Northeast Florida's plan was developed with these 4 pillars: empowering partnerships to advance education and workforce, amplifying our leadership as a preeminent smart region, emboldening our global brand and expanding awareness, and deepening our industry clusters and intensifying support for growth. Each pillar has specific strategies and tactics that will be successfully accomplished through a collaborative effort of governmental leadership, regional and community partners, as well as businesses. The last pillar represents the 5 industries that our region can support with our infrastructure, with our workforce, and suppliers and services. And these are the following: advanced manufacturing, financial services, health and biomedical, advanced transportation logistics, information technology and innovation. And through our last strategic plan, Innovate Northeast Florida, we made huge strides in our region's economic prosperity. But with Elevate and our strong regional partnerships, it is important to maintain consistency and not lose momentum so that we can continue to generate more jobs given our MSA's increasing growth rate at levels twice that of the U.S. average. Let's talk a little bit about population growth. Here in Clay County, you can clearly see the population growth with heavier traffic on your roadways, as well as rapid construction of new residential rooftops. A recent U.S. Census report stated that the population of Jacksonville's MSA grew by 2% from 2017 to 2018, making it the country's 6th fastest growing large metropolitan area, the 6th fastest in the United States. During this time, the MSA added nearly 31,000 people, growing at approximately 84 residents per day between 2017 and 2018. But since 2010, our MSA grew by more than 189,000 residents, moving our total MSA up to 1.5 million people. That's a percentage change of over 14%. That's the 2nd fastest growth rate in the state, only behind Orlando. We're growing faster than Tampa as well as Miami. And during the same time, Clay County increased its residential population by more than 25,000 residents, and that's a 13% increase in your population. Let's talk about who's here, the inflows of our age group. So our research shows that more than 70% of the new residents are under the age of 40. Access to highly skilled talent is the #1 driver in relocation and expansion decisions of businesses today. There used to be a time that they only really cared about what's your incentive package. Every company that calls us, one of the first questions they're talking about is what's your talent, what's your skill level like, if we decide to bring that particular business to your particular region. So what's talent is the new currency. It is the new money. These newer residents are the keys to driving more business, thus more jobs, as well as quality of life that residents demand. The majority are young professionals moving for or looking for job opportunities in our region. But there's an opportunity with these new residents. And that new residents that I'm talking about is age 1 to 19, which make up more than 1/3 of the in-migration within this MSA. So, translation, that is going to be the future leaders of our region as well as Clay County itself. And we must pay attention to this growing population. Let's talk about talent management and education. Northeast Florida has 3 of the top 10 school districts in the state of Florida right in this region. Clay County is the number 8 school district in this region, in the state. If 1/3 of our MSA's new residents fall into this category, we must be working hard at keeping these children here in our region to fill the job opportunities that as we recruit, or we run the risk of giving our children the best education possible, but only for them to take their talents to other regions. And I'm a very competitive person, so I don't want to see our talent end up in Orlando, Tampa, Charlotte, Raleigh, and Nashville, whereby they're utilizing our talent when we could actually use our talent here. And I'm going to hit home on this. If your children go off to school, let them know there's opportunities for them here. Because if we get them here, as you age, you'll get to see your grandkids. I think that may be very well important to some people also. It's important to give our students, whether they're products of our K-12 school system or post-secondary degrees and certifications at area colleges and universities, the skill sets they need to receive gainful and meaningful employment right here in the region. So supporting our school systems, career academics and growth, as well as developing new programs between our public schools and corporate businesses invested in these regions creates that talented pipeline. And I can say that. Why? Because my wife is the principal of Oakleaf Junior here in Clay County. So if you know Kristen Russo, that is my wife. She does a phenomenal job, and I hear about it every night. The good and the bad, but it's always the good. But I am so proud of the work that she's doing with that school, and hopefully you are too. So investing in our region students through mentoring, apprenticeships, internships, and curriculum development will have a significant impact to training and preparing our next generation of talent to find local jobs. So we've just hired in the role as VP of Talent, your very own Anna Labish, who's with us, coming over from St. John's State River College. So she's going to be working with us throughout this entire 7-county region on workforce development and talent attraction. We have to have it in order to be competitive. And I could think of no better person than convincing her that at this stage of her career, this is a great opportunity for her. And so, Anna, I want to tell you in front of everyone, welcome. She just started this past Monday. We're looking forward to you working with us and doing great things. But more importantly, notice my team. Kathy and Anna are both Clay County residents. I want you to understand my wife works here too, so I guess you understand the affinity that I have for Clay County itself. So let's talk about the state of Clay County in the future. While a number of Clay County residents is growing, your infrastructure must change equally as well. I'm going to discuss some of the assets that you have. Your medical industry. Orange Park Medical Center undergoing a $126 million expansion and adding over 100 additional jobs. Your close proximity to NAS Jacks and the talent that's leaving each year out of the military. This region itself has over 3,000 personnel that leaves the military and comes into the workforce, and we are eagerly trying to make sure that they gain meaningful employment as they depart the actual military, and we also thank them for their service as well. Here's another great asset that you have. It's the development of the First Coast Expressway linking Clay County to interstate access. And you've also got the abundance of land for industrial and office parks. So the challenge is that your opportunity for commercial growth is vastly approaching. Most projects who come to Jacks USA are looking for sites that have structures already built to suit that they can start their operations for both industrial as well as office businesses. And where there is land available, here's what the market is telling me. You can dispute that, but this is what they're telling me, that sometimes the property tends to be a little bit more expensive than it actually should be. I firsthand know that real estate, from a price standpoint, is going to be whatever somebody's willing to pay for it. But if you want to jumpstart industrial development, office development, and other development, you're going to have some conversations amongst yourselves about how do you put the property on the market and what's the right rate of return that you're looking for. I'm not telling you what it should be. I'm just telling you what the market is telling me, and I'm only the messenger today. So while Jack's USA and Clay, Florida EDC are working together, residents and leaders in this community must work together also with your EDC to meet the economic demands of the county. So that means consider protecting and buying and developing commercial and industrial areas and providing affordable land. Encouraging banking and developers to invest in some smart spec buildings in order to have facilities to meet the market prospects. And the key that I said to that was smart. I didn't say go out and build 250,000 square feet of space. Be strategic and be smart and work with your EDC with how you do that. Because in one particular county, they may be looking for 50,000 square feet of space, but in another particular county, they may be looking for 10,000 or less square feet of space. You have to have it tailored for your respective county. But also continue to develop a strong business relocation and expansion program to support your local industry. So how does Clay County's future look? And I'm going to close with these 7 comments. Infrastructure is expensive, and a return on investment is key for development activities. So by having certified sites available for prospects is important in economic development. 2, if you don't come together for a reasonable rate of return to jumpstart your market, that bypass that you're building, the First Coast Expressway, the market will bypass you. So I have one question. Are you ready for change? Because your politics, your demographics, and your economics will change within your county. And that's a hard pill for some people to swallow. But there's one thing that is definitely constant. 2 things, death and certainly change. There will be growing pains, and there will be the need for sacrifice. It will require short-term and long-term strategic thinking to get you to where you all say that you want to be. This will determine your growth, success, and it will force you to examine how you do business. But know the following. Jack's USA is your partner in your decisions for the highest and best use of your resources to ensure your economy remains a strong one for your residents as well as for our region. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to present before you today, and I will be back.